Hello everyone, this is Pal Ponder on Weather coming at you with another video. In this update, we're going to talk about Winter Storm Finley that's going to be impacting the plains through the Northeast with snow and ice, but also a southward component to it with severe weather. So before we do get started, if you do like weather related content, please subscribe to my channel as I will upload about 5 videos a week to keep you updated. All right, so let's get started. So here's an overall map and how this storm is essentially going to play out. It originated yesterday in Colorado, where it dumped a lot of snow, and then now it's moving east. It's through Kansas at the moment, but I'm showing you kind of an overall map where there's going to be a two-prong approach. There's cold air advection coming from the north, but a warm sector coming from the south. So in the middle, there's going to be that squeeze play. And within that zone, that demarcation zone, that's where you're going to get the heaviest snow. So as this swings up, essentially the I-70 corridor, it's going to dump a lot of snow and eventually some ice into Pennsylvania, but on a south side, more rain. So let me show you. I kind of took a pic of the I-70 because this storm is basically going to follow right along the I-70 corridor, where you're going to have a cold air from the north, warm air from the south, and right in the middle, right in that sweet spot, there's going to be spots where 4 to 6, 6 to 8 inches of snow, but 30 miles away, you're going to get like 1 inch. So there's going to be a lot of happy campers out there, but a lot of people say, hey, it didn't snow at my house. So it all depends on how much cold airs are able to trap into the storm. So here's an overall pic of Kansas City. It started snowing this morning in Kansas City, and the latest from the National Weather Service. I know the Chiefs game is going to be snowing all day on that game. I can't wait to watch it. But easily 4 to 6 inches of snow going to be dumping in the heart of Kansas City. And as this swings to the east, there's going to be some spots that could be even higher amounts, from 6 to 8 and probably even 10 inches in spots. It's not going to surprise me. But if we take a look at the latest NAM, this is a mesoscale model, and I kind of look at this within 60 hours, kind of gives you a best idea of how this storm is going to play out. This cold air is traveling a little bit faster than what it picked up on yesterday. So meaning there's actually going to be more snow component to on the north side from this storm. But there's also a component to it where we're going to have a part where there's a lot of energy in the atmosphere, and you might actually get some thunder snow tonight into Sunday night and the wee hours of Monday morning in the Ohio Valley, and that's what's kind of picking up here. So be looking for that. That is a rare event, but you could be getting some thunder snow in this middle part of Ohio into Indiana sometime in the wee hours of Monday night, Sunday night into Monday morning. But out ahead of it, this is the latest NAM, so I was going to show you the temperature. So how this is going to play out. So you got cold air coming down and it's kind of who's actually going to get there first. It's kind of like a cat and mouse game, right? So there's cold air traveling south. There's warm air advection. This is a positive tilted trough. So we got mid 70s, upper 70s, and this is going to be your severe weather component on the south. But we got this warm advection feeding into the storm, into the plains, into the Northeast and the Mid Atlantic states. So there's going to be spots where you're going to get rain, but also spots where there's ice that's going to be forming as well, and then snow to the north. So, but like I said, there's a severe weather component too. So where you saw those temps rising into the mid 70s, upper 70s, the Storm Prediction Center put out a severe weather risk and actually an enhanced risk in this area of Louisiana into Mississippi and eventually Alabama as this swings off. So there's going to be large hail, damaging winds, and tornadoes could be impacting you guys in parts of the Southeast later on within this system. So here's kind of a picture and how this is going to play out. This is from the National Weather Service. So as this storm, it's like 45 degrees below zero, about 30,000 feet up. But as it gets to about 18,000 feet, it drops about 10 degrees. But there's going to be a cold air out ahead of this storm that's going to sink temperatures below freezing. Like I said, parts where we're going to have freezing rain. But as as that positive tilted trough sneaks in that warm air advection, and there's could be a two warm spots too, that you're going to have the temperatures as it falls, it's snowing, and then it melts, but then it refreezes at the surface because all layers of the atmosphere aren't cold enough for it to snow. So where that warm air sneaks in, it's going to melt, but then actually refreeze on the surface. And I think that's going to take much place into the southern and western parts of Pennsylvania. So here's the latest NAM, and these totals have actually increased right along that corridor, right along that Bear Clinic zone, where you could be getting some heavier amounts from 4 to 6, 6 to 8, and again 10 inches in spots in parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and as this swings up in through Pennsylvania. And here's kind of here's the latest GFS, and not quite as bullish, but again, this is not a mesoscale model, so I think the NAM has a better feel on it 60 hours in, where it's still dumping, 4, 6, 8 inches of snow right along, again, right along that I-70 corridor. If we take it out another frame, now again, the most dangerous component of this is going to be the ice storm. And like I said, that's where those temperatures are going to sneak below freezing out ahead of the rain moving in. So places like Pittsburgh, for example, you can see this warm air advection where it's going to snow tonight in the early morning hours. So it's going to affect your Monday morning commute. It's all going to be snow and temperatures in 28, 29 degrees. But as that warm air advection sneaks in the Monday afternoon hours, it's all going to turn to rain. But then on the back side of it, we got more cold air coming in, and then it's going to snow again on a Tuesday morning. So, but just to the, you can see just to the east of it, where the temperatures are going to be below freezing at the surface, that rain is going to all be freezing rain, and there's going to be a dangerous ice storm setting up into western and southern parts of Pennsylvania later on Monday into Tuesday. So here's the latest NAM, is showing again snowfall outputs to kind of expand the view, but again a solid swath of 4 to 6, 6 to 8 inches of snow is likely in this I-70 corridor area. But there's also going to be a northeast component too, where you're going to have a lake effect event. So with that, once you get up in the northeast, you're going to have a two-prong approach. We're going to have a lake effect event on the north side coming off the lakes, but then cold air advection coming up here. And so you're going to have heavier amounts in upstate New York and lighter amounts into, say, Boston area, where I'm thinking you're going to get anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. So that's kind of a benchmark. I know Logan's had about 10 inches so far this winter when you average 48. So if you tack on another 2 to 4, that'll put you at 12 to 14 inches for the year. And we're only 2.5 weeks into winter. So that's about 25% of average already there. So you're kind of well on your way. And here's, again, this is that most dangerous component of this storm, which is the ice storm that's going to happen with those cold air temperatures freezing at the surface, but aloft 3,000 feet up, it's going to be above freezing. So all this is going to be an ice storm into western and southern Pennsylvania, where a good quarter to a half inch of solid ice is going to form, and then this will swing up through New England. But here's the latest NAM overall picture, kind of spreads it out. Again, shows the exact same thing, where there's going to be a nice setup in the middle, not as much in the Central Plains. The most, like I said, the dangerous part is once this gets up in the Northeast, you're going to have a more heavier event of an ice storm into Pennsylvania. But on the back side of it, I mean, anything that falls, I mean, a lot of this is going to happen over, Tuesday, Monday into Tuesday. But as this system clears out, it's going to be snow on the ground or ice on the ground. But then you got really cold temperatures Wednesday night into Thursday, where you're going to be in the single digits for much of Pennsylvania and the low teens. and even below 0 in parts of upstate New England. So there's also a component after all this clears out where it's going to again tack on another 5 to 10 degrees colder because it's seeing that ice and snow on the ground. So this isn't going to melt whatever does fall from the air. So I just want to kind of give you an idea how this storm I think is going to play out over the next couple days for you guys in the Northeast. I appreciate you watching. Be sure to like this video and share with your friends on social media that love weather-related content, and be sure to subscribe to my channel and check out my next video. And we'll be talking about, there's also potentially a bigger setup for the Northeast next weekend where we could have a big storm potentially setting up for you guys in the Northeast. So I'll be talking a lot more about that next week. And so I appreciate you guys staying with me, and catch me in the next video where I protect you before and after the storm.